Hi, friend. I'm April Porter with the Heretical Heart, where we use human design to make the invisible visible for entrepreneurs and creatives who are ready to stop becoming who everyone else needed them to be and start trusting who they actually are. And today I'm sharing more about the Heretical Frequency report and how it came to be. So let me just say I wasn't trying to build a framework when I found this. I was having an average day in the middle of COVID. I was stuck at home and a song came on, and not a meaningful song, not a song I would have chosen intentionally, but it was a song that came across a video and it triggered something in me. And yet it expanded into something more. And so I want to tell you about that in just a moment, of how that really came to be. But before I do that, I want to tell you that my business was in a place of transition. I had just come out of a nutrition coaching business. I was still kind of in it. I was moving into this life coaching and human design business. And I'd been using human design for a couple years in my coaching, but I was kind of doing it quietly. I hadn't fully brought it out yet for my clients and on my website. And so I was in this transition of doing that. And I was still trying to take care of everyone else. I was trying to take care of my family. I was trying to navigate COVID. I had an office in town that I was trying to figure out, do I keep it? Do I shut it down? What do I do? What do I charge? What am I offering right now? What do people need? And so I was in this swirling of like, what am I supposed to be doing kind of space? And the harder I tried to figure it out, the harder it kind of became to figure out. And so what I realized was like I needed to take a step back and just see what was unfolding. And while that was happening, I was stuck at home with COVID, and I just remember I was scrolling, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram. I think it was Facebook. And there was a video that was going around at the time of this young woman who was sitting, I think, on her bed, and she had a microphone and an acoustic guitar, and she was singing Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And it's one of those songs that I feel deep in my soul, and I have a deep connection to it. And it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, I love this song. And I started crying. And I thought, whoa, there is so much emotion here. What is this? And I am so drawn to this song, like I can't walk away from it. So my mom lives with us, and she has a collection of vinyl records. And I knew that she had this record. So I went down and I asked her, can I borrow your record? And I brought it upstairs, and I put it on and I started playing it. And what I found was like, I wanted to play it again and again and again and again. And every time I played it, I cried because there was deep sadness in it. Like, as much as I loved this song and it called to me on a soul level, it fulfilled something within me. It also felt like it hollowed me out in some way. There was so much grief attached to this song, but there was also so much joy and nostalgia. It took me right back to being a 3-year-old child sitting in the middle of the single wide trailer that we lived in at that time. My parents were young. We lived in a small town, and I remember there being music always playing in my home, everything from 50s to current day. And this was a song that was on heavy rotation around that time. And there was so much joy that I remember feeling at that time. I remember feeling free and like happy, and like there was so much of life coming at me. I mean, I know I was 3, but like, you know, your world is so expansive then. And at the same time, I remember the conflict in our home between my young parents who probably weren't given the tools to navigate difficult things very well in their lives, because that was a different time. We didn't have the mental health support and therapy and things to move through difficult life situations like we do now. Not to say that it wasn't there, but it wasn't as socially acceptable. And so there was a lot of hard feelings that came up during that time. It was like, I remember fighting. I remember sadness and, well, not fighting, but arguing and sadness and And also these moments of great joy. So it was very complicated. But what I noticed was the more I played this song, the more things started to shift. And over time, it held less and less sadness and grief. Not to say that that was completely erased, because that will always be a part of that memory in that song. But the emotional charge that it held changed over time. And it became something where I can put that song on now and I feel deep nostalgia and joy. So I kind of came across this by accident. It was one of those things where, like, I'm doing this obsessive thing where I'm just playing this song over and over and over again. And maybe you have something like that. Maybe there's a song in your life where the first time you heard it, you were like, this makes me feel so seen. I feel so connected to this song, and you play it over and over and over. And maybe if you are somebody like me who grew up in the 80s and 90s, like before we had lyrics on our phones, you would play a song over and over and try and learn the lyrics and understand what they were saying. And there's a whole lot to that, but it was something that just called to me. And what I found was eventually that song, I can listen to it anytime and I feel completely different about it now. Yes, it still reminds me of those harder times, but those harder times don't feel like they want to take me down. It doesn't make me want to cry every time. It doesn't make me cry every time. So I think that there's something to that. What I realized was this was an accidental finding. And at the time, I didn't even realize that it was going to become something. I didn't even realize it was a tool I was using at that moment. I just knew that it was something that I had to follow and experiment with. And over the last 5 years, I've been playing with this. There's songs that I feel deeply connected to, and I will play them over and over again. And if I feel sad, I feel like there's something there for me. If I feel anxious, I feel like there's something there for me. If I feel happy, sometimes there's something there for me, right? So I don't know, maybe you have this or not, but like I have playlists that are just for happiness and joy and excitement and energy. And then I have playlists that are for grief and sadness, because sometimes I want to call out those harder moments so that I can process and release. So over time, I started playing with this with clients, and I've been doing this in my group program, the Heretical Heart Metamorphosis. I created some playlists a couple months ago for them as well. And I'm starting to get feedback on that, which is really exciting. But I thought, why not take this even farther? So probably 5 or 6 months ago, I started playing with this. And the Heretical Frequency report is the result of that experimentation. It's made into something shareable, right? So I wanted something that every person could use. And so I went through every major part of the human design chart. So energy type, strategy, authority, profiles, centers, channels, gates. And for each section, there are between 3 and 8 songs that carry the emotional frequency of the theme that is asking you to release or reclaim that part of yourself. And each song comes with a journal prompt. So it's not a worksheet, it's not an assignment, it's not something you even have to write out. It's just a contemplative thought, something to sit with while the music plays. And you don't have to journal it, you just have to listen. You can journal if you want to. You can take it to voice notes after if you want to. You can take it to the gym. Whatever feels right for you. Take it on a walk. But this is not a course. It's not a coaching program, but it is a practice. It's something you can return to as you grow, as your chart opens up in new ways, as different seasons of your life call for different parts of what's inside. So this is for people who've done a lot of the intellectual work and know their patterns well and are still running them. People who understand their human design chart and are ready to work with it at a deeper level than just strategy. And people who have tried the frameworks and the worksheets and the coaching and are looking for something that meets them somewhere different. So it's not for people who are brand new to human design and want a foundational overview. It's assuming that you already have some sort of understanding of the basics of human design. Now, you don't have to know all your channels and gates and what they mean. It doesn't require that. But it does require you to kind of understand like the big themes of what it means to be a manifestor or projector or generator, or your strategy of emotional authority and waiting as a bigger concept. But it's for people who are ready to go underneath that and rewire those patterns. So every part of the chart is broken down into a playlist, which you will get the parts for your chart with playlists for those parts. And you just save them into your Spotify account and you come back to them whenever something brings up something in that part of your chart that you want to decondition. So if you want to try a piece of it before committing to the full report, the free type sampler gives you the section built around your specific energy type. It has about 8 songs in your energy type, and it's enough to feel what the practice actually does. So the link is in the description. You can put your headphones in and just listen to it, because that's all you really have to do. And the more you repeat it, the more you get out of it. But there's no requirement to listen to it a certain amount of times. It's really an individual process and what works for you. So I hope you'll check it out. And if you have any questions, drop them below. I'm happy to answer them.